Hey comic book fans, your pal David here to give you guys your comic fix. Now this is part 2 of my weeks in reviews, and last time I reviewed Batwing issue number 11, Action Comics issue number 11, and Detective Comics issue number 11. So if any of those books entice you or interest you, just know they're one video below and you can always check those videos out. Now, in this video, I'm going to be doing some reviews of Earth 2, issue number 3. Now, great thing that James Robinson is doing is he's making Earth 2 feel so different, but the same as the Earth Prime that we're getting in the New 52. And I love the ways he's changing everything up so slightly, but in those slight changes, and as a whole, they're changing the whole entire world to be so much different than Earth Prime, or the New 52. In this, we get to see the birth of Alan Scott becoming a Green Lantern. Interesting part is that when the Green Lantern, or this fire, is telling Alan Scott that he's going to become Earth's protector and the chosen one. And then once you're hearing all this, I just thought to myself, wait, this is the same stuff that was talked about in Swamp Thing. And then you find out that Alan Scott, as he takes the mantle of the Green Lantern, he has to help stop the Gray. Just like what Swamp Thing's doing. And that just blew my mind. I was not expecting anything like that. And then he is facing off against Arcane, but in a different way than what we're seeing in Swamp Thing. And it's just so awesome to see the little tweaks that we're getting in Earth 2. And then we get to see the interaction between the Flash and Hawkgirl. I absolutely love Hawkgirl, and I'm so glad to see her being so well portrayed in this book. Now just know that there's no big action sequences, but what we do get is just some great character development. And with this great character development, when that action scenes do come, they're going to be so much better because of the character interactions that we're getting with this book early on. I have to get Earth 2, issue number 3, a 4.5 out of 5. Definitely one of the best books that are out there right now. Next up is World's Finest, Huntress and Power Girl. I absolutely loved the first issue. The first issue was about these two women trying to get back home and using their brains to do it. Well, ever since they met this villain named Toxic, who has destroyed their machine to get back home, this book has gotten very stale. And I really thought that after issue number 2 they would be done with this villain and they could get back onto their work to get back home onto Earth 2. Well, no such luck. We still are seeing this villain, Toxic, or whatever the hell his name is. Radioactive, I think his name is. And when you're looking at this villain and you're seeing them fight, you're just like, this is uninteresting. The villain's uninteresting. The whole situation just makes you think, okay, this is just so stale. Why can't we just go back to what they were doing? Just finish off this villain and go back to work. Now, there are some halfway points where we get to see them when they first came on to Earth Prime, or the New 52 Earth. And we get to see them coming into this new Earth and how they made new lives for themselves. That's where I thought this book shines. With Kevin Maguire's art, it just was so perfect. He could get facial animation so well. And that whole part of the book was just so fantastic. I love the part where you see Power Girl is going to try to go and get Mr. Fantastic, or Mr. Terrific. Aha! Not Mr. Fantastic. Mr. Terrific, and get him to build her machine to get back home. And you see her become into this really beautiful outfit that has the booby hole that we saw in the previous suit that Power Girl wore. So that was just some great nods to what the past was. But all in all, when you just see the points with the villain, everything becomes so stale, and you're just like, what's the point of this book? If they're not trying to get home, they're just trying to face out against this no-name villain. I want them to get back to their job. I want to get back to the interesting stuff. I want to get them back home so they can start dealing with the stuff in Earth 2, because Earth 2 is so much better than the stuff we're getting in the New 52 world. I have to give World's Finest, issue number 3, a 3 out of 5. Definitely, it's been really quite a disappointment book. But with Kevin Maguire at art and George Pérez at art, it kind of rectifies the book a little bit. Next up is a book that I was really never expecting to pick up after the first issue, and that was Dial H issue number 3. This issue, we see Nelson and his dial, his phone booth, gets destroyed. And right when you see that point, after that point, we do not see Nelson turn into any more superheroes, but we get to see Nelson dealing with himself. Because the last issue, we saw that Nelson was getting a little addicted to becoming a superhero, and he started to hate himself even more than when we previously met him. And in this issue, we actually get to see him becoming a better human being. We get to see him making himself more healthy, and we get to see him actually loving himself a little bit more. And that's great. I was not expecting to go into this book to see a good character piece, but ever since the issue number 3, it has become that. I'm really interested to see how Nelson, this fat character that we see in the cover, how he becomes a better human being, even though he cannot change into the Dial H. There's some great points in there where we get to see the villains are coming closer and closer to finding out who the new Dial H person is. And that part was all very interesting. But the best part about this book was the character development of Nelson. And there was not really any big fight scenes. There was some crazy art in there though. But what we got was a character piece. And that's what I loved so much about this book. Now, I had to give Dial H, issue number 3, 3.5 out of 5. Definitely it's on the up and up, and I cannot wait to see what's next. Now, the bad parts, though, about this book is that the new writer, Mieville, when you see his writing's a little different than what you see in traditional comics. Now, I can't really explain what's so strange about it, but if you read it, you'll see what I mean. Well, my name's David, and if you like reviews like these, I got a bunch more on my page, and I hope you guys enjoyed the fix. And in my next video, I'm going to be reviewing the Red Lanterns, issue number 11, Animal Man, issue number 11, and one of my all-time favorites so far is Danger Club, issue number 3. So, if any of those videos entice you, you guys know what to do. Subscribe up top, like on the bottom. My name's David, and I hope you guys enjoyed the fix, and come back next time. Thank you very much.